Your big takeaways from that scrimmage you guys had? Kind of your first taste of real football this fall.
Big takeaways from the scrimmage. Kind of a overall theme for the defense was when we had busts, a couple busts out there, assignment errors, communication errors. The offense was very productive. When we were all on the same page and everybody, all 11 guys playing one defense, we were pretty salty. So I think communication and just the offense came out with a really good tempo, I thought, that day, and us being able to adjust to that tempo is going to be kind of the tale of the story here. But I thought the first group tackled well. Second and third groups got to get a little better. I thought we were physical when we needed to be, and we saw a lot of guys do a lot of good things. So it was great for us.
We were talking with Cam Taylor up here, just how valuable is having a guy like that where chess piece you can kind of move all over the place, it seems like.
I mean, Cam's a really dynamic player. You know, he can take reps at corner, he can take reps at safety, he can replace JoJo at outside backer against 11 personnel teams when we need him to. So having a guy like him that knows the whole defense, every single position, and is physical enough to play down low and is good enough on the edge to play coverage is pretty exceptional, I think.
How do you feel about your outside backers? I know there's some guys in and out, but where do you think you stand right now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think that group's getting a lot better. I think Alex Davis, Ferg, you know, I know what JoJo is. Those guys are going to give us some good reps. Garrett Nelson's playing really well for a true freshman, and Caleb Tanner's doing a lot of nice things, and he's going to help us. So I think we got 4 or 5 guys right now that I feel good about rolling out there.
You're able to talk about Hakeem Green at this point.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Just what he brings to the team, and I guess what his role potentially could be.
Well, what he brings to the team is definitely D-line depth, and I'm sure he'll challenge for a starting role. Just because he got here late doesn't mean he can't be in that thing. He's got to earn it, just like everybody does, but definitely depth, definitely an inside guy that gives us some pass rush and some help against the run is, I think, where his value's at.
From your perspective, was he someone who you guys felt confident about throughout the process, or was there maybe a bit of a roller coaster just ended up there?
I mean, I think anytime you're dealing with a guy that is going to finish school late and you can't lock him into a letter of intent, there's always a little bit of, there's no certainty. You know, if the next team comes along and wants to recruit him, they can recruit him. So that's always a little bit of a gray area, but he was great through the whole process. And I know Coach Held and Coach Toohey and myself and Coach Frost were on him pretty hard. So I think we felt good the whole way, but that's all it is feeling good.
Erik, how did the scrimmage look over the weekend?
Okay, like we said, it looked good. I think that first series, the offense came out and punched us in the mouth and had some big plays. And then after that, especially the first group, they tightened it down and really played some good football. So it was good and bad. You know, it's always, would I like to just go shut the whole thing down in every series? Yeah, absolutely. But then I got a whole new bag of problems. Then it's feeling good and trying to reel them back in. I liked how it went because we got knocked down right away, and then we came back and did our job. So there's a little bit of butt chewing I can do and let them know we're not quite there yet. So I liked where it was at.
Last week you talked about forcing more turnovers. Did that happen?
Yeah, it's just so hard in the scrimmage because even though we're scrimmage, we're not trying to tackle outside the numbers to get people hurt. We're not live on the quarterback. So it's hard to punch balls out. There was some turnovers, but it's hard to punch balls out. It's hard to make a great play on the ball because we're going to let the receiver go up and get the ball instead of knocking somebody's teeth out on that deal. So it's a little bit hard during scrimmage, but the turnovers have kept coming in practice.
Some of the DBs were saying they kind of like being in an obnoxious group, like a loud group getting after on the offense. Do you like that attitude from them?
Yeah, I do like that attitude from them. I always like a little confident, banter. I don't want it to get ridiculous. I don't want penalties. I don't want crazy BS going on. But when you're confident and you're playing good and you're celebrating with you, to me, the greatest thing about football is spontaneous celebration with your teammates. Now, when you make it all about look at me, I got a problem with that. But when those guys are talking and celebrating together, I love it.
A couple guys are mentioned. Reimer is a walk-on who has impressed early. What have you kind of thought of him?
Well, I think he's the epitome of what Coach Frost talks about not dipping your foot in, diving all the way in the deep water, because he's wrong a lot, but dang it, he finds the football. And he hasn't, he's embodies the desire to excel, no fear of failure. Whether he's right or wrong on a call, he's going to go make a tackle, and he's done some really nice things.
Those true freshman DBs, they're when you're recruiting them, their personalities, are they about what you thought you were going to get as far as being coachable, and just like how they fit in?
Yeah, that group is great. I mean, they got the same thing, right? They got a little that confident swagger, but they're not, crazy dudes. They want to be coached. They want to get better. They want to learn technique from Fish. They want to learn scheme. So they've been great to be around.
Quentin Newsome in particular, what have you seen from him over the course of the fall?
Yeah, Quentin Newsome is a guy who, like Luke Reimer you asked about, he hasn't been afraid to make a break on a ball, whether he gets there or whether he just misses. So I like the eagerness of him. He's got some really good skills, talented, if you would say. I mean, he's got some talent, skill. I think you need to refine a little bit, like Coach Rude said, but he's got some definite talent, and I can see that he's going to help this football team.
Erik might have mentioned it already, but how much did the offense coming out strong in that scrimmage and kind of punching you guys in the mouth help you guys turn around and bounce back?
I think it was necessary for everybody. I was glad for the offense because they did a great job. Adrian was operating. The O-line came off probably better than I've seen them all camp. But I think it was good for us to realize that we're not quite at the top of the mountain. We got a ways to climb yet. So it was good for all parties.
Was it sort of a situation where in the spring they were building a lot of confidence, and now maybe in the fall you needed to pull them back just a little bit?
I don't sense that we have that group that's so over the top. Like they think that, that we're whatever, we're where we need to be. I got that sense, and I'm trying to instill in them. We're 4-8 until we prove it differently. So you guys better play with the chip on your shoulder, and we better not come out flat, because until we win on October 31st or September 7th or whenever the games are, we're still a 4-8 football team, and that's what everyone perceives you as right now. So it's time to prove people wrong.
How much is continuity in year two? Have you seen that translate to the defense? They're knowing techniques better. They know what you guys want from them. They know the scheme. How valuable is that?
I think it's huge, because you go into the off season, you get a spring practice where they're running the same scheme, same calls, same techniques. Then the big piece is over the summer, when we can't be around them much, they can have their own 7-on-7 workouts. The D-line can work out on their own, working calls, working pass rush. But those kids can kind of teach each other now because there's so much more knowledge in the scheme. So I think it's been really good.
Well, those top linebackers, it seems like there's just kind of three guys that obviously established themselves and are coming back. What have you seen out of them in terms of challenging each other?
Who are you talking about? You're talking about Mo, Will, and Colin? Yeah, so I think right now, we all know, I think in the Big Ten, you've got a lot of different offenses. You've got some that huddle up and allow you to get set, and you've got some that are pretty high tempo. So I think those guys are all going to get a lot of reps, and I think they know that, and they've been pushing each other. I haven't seen bickering like, I hope this guy doesn't take my job, and undercutting him and all that kind of stuff. I've seen guys helping each other, sitting in the film room together, coaching each other after the play. It's been pretty awesome.
Mo mentioned something about other leaders echoing the main leaders on the team. How have you noticed that? Is that maybe a change from last year?
Yeah, I think there's obviously vertical leadership and horizontal leadership, and sometimes when the leaders go vertical down to the rest of the team, or from me to them down, the other guys need to go horizontal so everybody understands the message. And I think that's starting to happen. So once the leaders or the coaches say something now, everybody's spreading the word and reeling everybody else back in. So it's been good.